In 2026, your money is acting funny, right? The stock market is going crazy, right? I know a lot of you weren't thinking that the stock market was going to be like this. Nobody thought that. Nobody prepared for war. But it should not matter. If you are doing your research and you know what stocks you want to buy, and you're buying consistently, you put money in 401k, you put money in Roth IRA, you put money in your brokerage account, you put money in your high yield savings account, none of this stuff should matter to you. Who cares? I always tell you to buy the dip. I learned that the hard way, to buy the dip. Last year, when all this craziness was going on with the tariffs, I didn't buy the stocks. This year, I'm not playing no games because the fools that are up there, the politicians, they're fools. They make stupid decisions, and there's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is take advantage of their stupidness to buy the stocks, because a lot of people, they get scared of the market, right? Don't let politics rule your brokerage account. Don't let politics dictate what's in your portfolio. Yes, you buy stocks because you like them. That's all that matters. Here's what you have to realize, that these big brokerage companies, these investment hedge funds, they don't put their money in cash. They buy stocks. And right now, all their money is on oil. Right now, all their money is in oil stocks. It's slowly starting to move into the software stocks. And that's why I told you before to buy the software stocks when they were down. They're still down for the year, so you still can get into it. But don't wait too long, because they don't put money in cash. They always sway. Whatever the momentum is, that's where they put their money at. And right now, the momentum is in the oil stocks, but it's slowly starting to creep in to some of the software stocks like Microsoft, Salesforce, and ServiceNow. They're going to go back into dividend stocks as well, because in the beginning of the year, dividend stocks were doing well. Now the dividend stocks aren't doing too well. So buy some dividend stocks. But don't let politics or the war dictate how your portfolio is going to be. You got to find the puck. You got to find where the goal is at. And if you find the puck, put the puck in the goal. So right now, the stocks that are losing, that's the stocks that you want to pay attention to. You want to do your research on. You cannot always follow momentum because you don't have the inside information. A lot of those analysts, they already got the inside information. They buy stocks months and before. And right now, I can see them move into software stocks. So you might want to start getting into software stocks. But you cannot follow what they say on television. When they tell you that they bought something, they bought that stock like 6 months ago. So you cannot follow momentum because you don't have the inside information. So you got to be a little bit smarter. You got to pay attention to what's down. If you see a good company that is down, but you know it's making revenue and that it has free cash flow and that you think is going to grow in a couple years and it's down because stupid people are selling it because of war, you got to buy it. When missiles fly, you gotta buy. When there's blood in the streets, you gotta eat. When there's fear in the market, you gotta buy. Let their scare tactics be on them. But when they're scared, you gotta be buying. That's what it is. It's a capitalist society. This is the society we live in. We were born here and we gotta play the game. If you don't play the game, you're gonna be broke. I'm talking to my older gentlemen, my older women, my older crowd, 40s and 50s. If you ain't got money in the stock market, you're losing. I'm serious. You're not gonna be able to do what you wanna do. Or if you don't have a small business or have a home that's an asset, you're losing, man. You're playing politics talking about, well, I'm not gonna invest in the stock market because of who the president is. I'm not gonna invest in the stock market because I don't believe in war. Man, no. You gotta play the game, man. Do you think this is a game? You gotta play the game. The money game. You gotta follow the money. Hey, in like 10 years from now, when I'm making these videos, I'm gonna say I told you so, because I'm telling you what to do. I told you to put more money in 401k. I told you to open a Roth IRA. To the people who don't have pensions, you gotta open up a Roth IRA because you need an account that has retirement in it, tax-free. So you gotta open a Roth IRA. You don't have a pension, bro. You gotta open up a Roth IRA. And if you wanna take out money sooner than that, you gotta open a brokerage account. But the bottom line is you got to buy stocks, man. You got to play the game. Those missiles are flying over there. You know what? Stocks are going down because oil prices are going high. So what? Buy the stocks, man. Don't play that game with them, man. Don't let them cheat you out your money. They want you to sell them stocks. They don't want you in the market. And I'm telling you to buy All dips, every single dip. If it's a dip in the market, you buy it, because in 5 to 10 years from now, that stock is going to be high. You got to think long term. Stop thinking short term. You're not going to get rich overnight. It is what it is. Your stocks may fall 30% this year. So what? In 10 years, it's going to be up 120, 150%. That's what matters. Buy the dip. And I say this all the time. And I'm speaking to my brothers out there, my 9-to-5 workers. You don't need much to put into the stock market, but you have to be consistent. You got to be motivated, and you got to be dedicated. You got to have discipline. Every single week, or every time you get extra money, you buy stocks. You buy stocks that you really believe in. You got to do it, man. Don't you understand that the stock market is the greatest wealth builder ever? Think about it. If you'd have bought Amazon when it first came out, it went up like 15,000%, man. That's why the stock market is the greatest wealth builder. If you buy these stocks today, 5 to 10 years from now, they're going to be a lot higher. If you buy the dip, if it's something that's down 2%, 5%, just remember you're gaining that 2%, that 5%. Also, you're gaining the growth in the long term. So you're double dipping, man. You got to buy those stocks, man. You got to buy growth stocks if you're young. You got to buy good stocks when you're of age. You can't, because you can't play around with penny stocks if you're like 40, 50 years old. But if you're like 20, 30 years old, you could take a chance. You could take a flyer. But for my older people, you got to buy quality stocks. Some of the stocks that you know. If you don't know it, if you haven't done your research, then you can't buy that stock because it doesn't make sense. You don't even know what you're buying, right? How you going to buy Kava stock when you don't even know what Kava sells? How you going to buy Nikes when you don't know what their last year projections was? I buy these stocks because I've done the research, and all you got to do is use ChatGPT to do the research. But the bottom line is you got to buy the dip. Do not let war, politics, or any type of local news or macro news dictate how you want to buy stocks for long term. Yes, short term, yes, it's going to affect the stocks. I'm not stupid. Oil prices is going to affect the stocks. War is going to affect the stocks. Who is the president is going to affect the stocks. All short term. But long term, nah, it's not going to affect the stocks. War is not going to determine how you're going to buy the next Apple phone. You know what I'm saying? You're going to buy the Apple phone because you want the Apple phone. You're going to buy those Jordans because you want buy those Jordans. The war in Iran has nothing to do with certain restaurants that you frequently visit on a regular. You know what I'm saying? Or you going to a basketball game or a football game. It doesn't affect that. Or what car you buy, or the home you buy, or you buying stuff out of Home Depot. Iran has nothing to do with that. That war has nothing to do with that. That's why I think long term. And that's why I'm preaching to you to think long term. Stop thinking short term. It ain't gonna happen overnight, man. Who cares if your stocks go down 20% this year, next year? It doesn't matter because you're thinking long term. 5, 10, 20 years. And if your retirement, you think about 25, 30 years to leave something for your family, generational wealth. But do not think short term. And stop letting politics and all the TikTok and social media dictate how you're gonna buy the stocks, man. It has nothing to do with your long-term view on these stocks. That's why I continue to say the same thing over and over and over. I want you to buy the dip. Buy it. Don't listen to the nonsense, the politics, and all the BS, because they want you to stop buying stocks. They don't want your money. They don't want our money in there. They don't want you to get rich. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm telling you to buy all dips. Do not fall for the trap, the politics, the nonsense. Keep it Econ 100, man. You already know I don't play. You already know.